I'm Jenny Robertson, founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine. Welcome to Connections on Purpose. Whether you're here with us live on Zoom, joining us on Facebook, or watching later on YouTube, I'm so glad you're here. Connections on Purpose is where women come together to have meaningful conversations, make genuine connections, and be seen and heard. It's a place to listen, learn, share, and sometimes discover something new about ourselves and each other. If any of this speaks to you, I'd love to have you join us for one of our Connections on Purpose Zoom gatherings and experiencing the community for yourself. The link for more information is in the text of this video. Today's speaker asks us to think about our stories in a different way. We often think of our story as everything that's happened to us already. The experiences, the choices, the challenges, the relationships, and turning points that have brought us to where we are. But what about the story we haven't lived yet? What if we could become more conscious about the next chapter we're creating, not knowing exactly what will happen, but being intentional about how we want to show up for it? That's what we're going to explore today with The Soul Story You Haven't Lived Yet. Our speaker, Mary E. Knippel, invites us to move beyond simply reflecting on where we've been and begin imagining where we're going and who we're becoming along the way. It's just that you to consider. If the next chapter of your life is still being written, what do you want to write a page? And let me tell you a little about Mary. She's an author, a speaker, and a soul story mentor, drawing on 40 plus years of journalism and a lifelong journaling practice to help women transform experiences into stories of hope and wisdom. A three-time breast cancer thriver, she inspires others to share their voice, heal, and create meaningful legacies through storytelling. You can learn more about her at maryeeknippel.com, and her link is in the text of this video. Mary, thank you for being with us today. I really look forward to what you're going to share.
Welcome to the soul story you haven't lived yet. I'd like to acknowledge Ginny and her team for the continued vision of living a soul-focused life. And congratulations to all of you for having the audacity to want to learn about the story you haven't lived yet. I want to begin with a question. What if the most important chapter of your soul story isn't behind you? What if the chapter you've been preparing your entire life for is waiting to be written now? Most of us spend years looking back. We reflect on our childhood, our relationships, our triumphs, our disappointments, our losses, and our victories. We search for meaning in what has happened and wisdom in what we've endured. The work matters. In fact, it is sacred work, because every experience has shaped who we are. Every challenge has taught us something. Every season has left us fingerprints on our soul. Sometimes without realizing it, we become so focused on understanding the story we lived that we forget we're still creating the story we're living. We begin to define ourselves by our history instead of our possibilities. We tell ourselves, it's just who I am. I'm too old. It's too late. That ship has sailed. I missed my chance. Your soul doesn't speak in limitations. Your soul speaks in invitations. Today, I want to explore this question. What story is your soul inviting you to live next? Your past is a foundation, not a boundary. As a journalist, author, and soul story mentor, I've spent decades helping women uncover the wisdom hidden within their experiences. I watched women transform grief into purpose, pain into passion, and challenges into courage. I've witnessed remarkable healing happens when someone finally gives voice to a story that has been waiting to be told. And I've also noticed something else. Many women become experts on where they've been, yet are strangers to where they are going. We can become so identified with our past experiences that we unintentionally build our future around them. We begin introducing ourselves through our wounds, through our disappointments, through the chapters that nearly broke us. And while those experiences deserve acknowledgement, they do not deserve to become the whole story. Your past is valuable because it contains wisdom. Our wisdom is not to become a cage, it's to become a bridge. The purpose of your story is not simply to explain where you've been, it's to illuminate who you are becoming. Every experience you've lived has prepared you for something. The question is, prepared you for what? There is a place many women find themselves at some point in their life. Perhaps you're there now. The space between what was and what will be. The old identity no longer fits. Yet the new one hasn't fully emerged. You may feel restless, uncertain, called towards something you can't quite name. And because our culture celebrates certainty, we often assume something is wrong. But what if nothing is wrong? What if we are simply becoming? Think about the butterfly. There is a period when it is neither caterpillar nor butterfly, a period where everything familiar dissolves. From the outside, it appears still, but inside, transformation is happening. Many women experience a similar season. The soul begins whispering, there's more. There's another chapter. There's another way to be. Another dream. Another expression of who you are. And because the whisper doesn't arrive with a detailed roadmap, we often ignore it. But soul guidance rarely arrives as a 5-year plan. More often, it arrives as curiosity, a longing, a gentle tug, a recurring idea, a dream you can't stop thinking about, a book you want to write, a conversation you want to have, a place you want to visit, a gift you want to share. The soul speaks softly. Are you listening? I hope everybody has pen and paper ready because I don't just talk about writing. We write. So I'm going to give you an invitation now to spend a few minutes or a minute or two to think about the story my soul is inviting me to live next. And I'll give you a specific prompt and I'll put it in the chat. 1 year from today, I wake up feeling deeply aligned with who I am becoming. I look around at my life and notice that. And don't think about it, just let your hand move across the page and finish that prompt, that phrase. And I'm going to put it in the chat, so make it easy for all of you to refer to it. And here we go. Copy that. Because the idea is, okay, why isn't the chat opening? Sorry. Okay. I apologize, but my mouse is got a mind of its own and I can't get to the chat.
Mary, just repeat it again. That should
There
be
we go. I
fine.
got it. 1 year from today, I wake up feeling deeply aligned with who I am becoming. I look around my life and notice that and just keep going. Just finish the phrase. We'll take a minute or two. Okay, that was just a glimpse into planting the seed of what you want, what could life be like a year from now. And something might have surprised you, something might have been, oh, where did that come from? Or, yeah, that's confirmation of that's how I've been feeling. Most people think soul story work is about looking backward. I believe it's equally about looking forward because every day, consciously or unconsciously, we are writing our future story. The choices we make today become tomorrow's memories. The courage we practice today becomes tomorrow's confidence. The dreams we honor today become tomorrow's reality. We don't need absolute certainty to begin. We only need willingness. One conversation, one journal entry, one class, one phone call, one decision, one brave step. The future is rarely created by dramatic steps. It's created through small, aligned actions, repeated consistently. And here's the beautiful truth. You do not need to know the entire story. You only need to know the next sentence. I believe every woman carries wisdom the world needs. Not because she's famous, not because she's perfect, because she's lived, she's loved, she's lost, she has learned, and she's survived things she once thought she couldn't. Many women continue waiting for permission, waiting for confidence, waiting until they feel ready. Readiness is often the result of action, not the prerequisite. The women who transform their lives are not necessarily the bravest. They're simply willing to take one step before they have all the answers. They trust the next step will reveal the one after that. Your soul already knows the direction. Your responsibility is to simply listen. I'd like to leave you with this thought. Your soul story is not finished. It's unfolding. The chapters you've lived have given you the wisdom. The chapters ahead are asking for your courage. The woman you are becoming is already reaching back towards you. She is whispering, trust yourself. Take the next step. Say yes. Begin. And most importantly, it's not too late. Because your story is not defined by what happened to you. It's shaped by what you choose next. If today's conversation stirred something in you, if a dream is or a possibility or a new chapter is quietly calling your name, I invite you to take the next step of signing up for an inspired soul story roadmap session with me. Together, we'll explore where you are, what your soul is calling you toward, and the story you're ready to write next. You'll leave with greater clarity, renewed confidence, and a personalized roadmap for moving forward with purpose and intention. Because sometimes one conversation can illuminate an entirely new direction. And the story your soul is inviting you to live may be closer than you think. The next chapter is waiting. Let's discover it together. Everything is an opportunity to write your story of joy. Thank you.
Wow. Wow, Mary. Thank you so much for that. So many nuggets, so many nuggets. Those of you here on Zoom with us, before we wrap up, let's take a moment to show Mary some love. So unmute yourselves and do a little shouting out and clapping, however you show your love for this
Thank you,
amazing
Mary.
talk.
Thank you so
Awesome.
much. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Mary.
Appreciate it.
Inspirational.
Yes.
Wow. I was writing down so much stuff. I'm going to go back and listen to this, watch this video again because there's so many quotables in your talk today. And just thank you again for sharing your stories, your wisdom, and yourself with us, and for reminding us that while our past is part of who we are, there's still much more of our story left to live. And the prompt was just perfect. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Delighted to be here.
Yes.
And thank you to everyone who joined us here live on Zoom, on Facebook, or watching later on YouTube. I hope something you heard today stays with you. And maybe instead of only asking yourself what's next, you'll spend some time thinking about who you want to be in whatever comes next. Your next chapter doesn't have to be completely figured out, it's still being written, and you get to participate in creating it. And remember, you don't have to just watch from the sidelines. If you'd like to experience connections on purpose for yourself, I'd love to welcome you to one of our Zoom or in-person gatherings. You can also explore On Purpose Woman magazine and learn more about the On Purpose Woman global community on at opwgc.com. And that is in the text of this video as well. And so is Mary's website. So until next time, stay curious, stay open, stay connected, and live on purpose. Thanks again. Okay. Where is the